everybody and welcome to my video getting tidier. I hope you're well. So this is Saturday morning. We got up late today than what we normally do, although my daughter still woke at 7. It's a bit of a shame. I like her to have a bit of a lie-in at the weekends. So I decided to just tidy up the kitchen. You can see, like, in one day, so literally yesterday it was all tidy, wasn't it? And then in one day there's all things left out, things that are put on the left rather than put on the right. And you'll be pleased to know that I had a piece of the cake for breakfast, but unfortunately it's very, very rich, so I could only really manage about half a slice. It does smell quite old, but it tastes really nice, but just very, very rich. So I thought I'd do some washing up. It's been quite challenging this morning because my daughter now needs to start doing her revision for her exams. And it's quite difficult to encourage her to do what she needs to do. I think because if we'd have had like 4 or 5 children, they would have all had to sort themselves out, wouldn't they? Because you've only got one, I think what happens is that you end up doing a lot more. So, you know, with some things, sometimes it's like a challenge for her to get dressed and various other things. So I've said to her, look, this is what I did. I've written out her timetable for her and explained what she needs to do. And then she sat there complaining, etc., etc. I needed to pop to the garden centre, and so she was very disappointed that I went without her. But what should have taken about 30 minutes, she ended up spending hours on. And as a result, she hasn't done other things that she needs to do. This afternoon, we're going to celebrate my mum's birthday and having dinner with her. Then tomorrow, she's got a singing rehearsal and a friend is coming round. I do have to keep thinking, though, I didn't go up to high school for a year later than my daughter. So it's quite a lot of work that she's got, like a year earlier. So that makes a big difference. And in a minute, I'm going to show you my garden. And I've left the sound on so you can hear it. So hopefully you saw the slow motion where the blue tits came in. So once I had a little wander around the garden, watered my plants in the greenhouse, I then came in and put some washing on. But the big chunk of today's video is sorting out my cabinet, or would you call it a hutch? I can't quite get over that some people call it a hutch. That's very different for us. So you'll see that I've done this massive sort out, clear out. Yeah, so the cabinet that I sorted out, the bottom section, do you remember a few weeks back and took everything out and sorted that out and created a bit more space because I want to move all the dining items from the lounge into the dining cabinets, but I decided to do all the top part, so that took me a long time. So I hope you enjoy watching that video. So a few comments that I wanted to go through. So first of all, we've got a comment, user XN9SZ. I'm not sure what, it doesn't show your name. Hilarious, a cake uneaten from December 2019. That would never happen in my house, sadly. I can't resist cake. Do you know, I think what happened was, here in England it's quite common to make Christmas cakes very early, so like maybe October, November. So I think that was made by my husband and daughter, maybe early November, and then it was cooled down, put in the tin, and then we just forgot to ice it. That's what I think. Carolyn said, I think in every family half the work would be done if people would just put stuff back where they belong. Lol. I agree. Just curious, Laura says, when you put the blue tin back on top of the cupboard, is it empty now? No, it's not empty, Laura. One slice has been removed and I had another slice for breakfast, so it's gone back on the cabinet and I'm going to eat it in stages. Cook Mum X3, that's Andrea. You just described my house. Everything is a mess. I'm a bit confused. How can you eat a cake so old? Well, because it's a... Did I miss something? Because it's a fruit cake, the fruit has all been preserved by the alcohol. So this is actually very common. So for instance, in Christmas puddings, we used to have Christmas puddings made by my husband's grandmother, and she would cook us one, and then we would eat it the year after or 2 years later. Emma, you need to get rid of that cake and the tin. There's no point keeping it. No, I need to eat that cake. And the tin is actually a tin that we use for our wedding cake, so I'm going to use that tin for something else. Vastominova says, I don't think declutter is appropriate for this video. Yeah, I think you might be right. More cleaning and tidying. But I did get rid of some stuff, but not a full-on declutter, I agree. Robin Daniels said, great video as usual. Thank you for the support with my teacup issues. Your dad ate the cake. He's my hero. And then Robin Daniels said this really good story here. I thought it was really nice. So we still had the top of our late parents' cake. It was gorgeous. There was fruit cake inside the cement outer part, apparently. I brought so much stuff to my house, I gave this one to my sisters and she ended up giving it to a bride for her wedding day. I didn't know she'd do that, so I can still remember the delicious smell of it and I took photos. Oh, it's nice, those memories. And then Sissity Toe 2563, a tip is that everyone who can everyone in the family, get them all a washing bag to put their own dirty clothes in, and the dirty clothes that does not go in there will not be washed. They can then wash their own clothes. Also put back the clean clothes. Everyone can do their own bed in the morning. Yeah, I think the problem is, the reason why we struggle with putting clothes away is because none of us have got enough space. This is the problem. Brooke said, thanks for sharing about the cake. Today I see that you also have an extra large colander on top of the cupboard. Now, I'm not actually sure what that is. That's my husband's, and I'm pretty certain it's the chicken cooker for the barbecue. Now, if that's right, that can be taken off and put in the pantry. That's sat up there for ages. I look forward to seeing your videos of you peeling back the onion upstairs, possibly on your landing. Just curious how you'll be able to fix your husband's drawer under your bed. Will you need to call in someone to help? I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to have to. But the problem is, I cannot have the person who does our DIY, I can't have him come up in our bedroom. Honestly, you can't see the carpet. So I'm going to have to do a mammoth clear up first. But then I can't put the things back in the drawer because I can't get in the drawer. So it's all a bit of a muddle. It really is. I followed someone on YouTube for several years who also has medical conditions that cause pain and fatigue. Oh, when she cleans up a space, she makes a pile or bag of unbelongings. Then at the end of the day, or at one time per week, all three of you could pitch in and put them away where they belong. That's a good idea. I had a virtual conference this week, plus several clients on Thursday night. This week, I hope to do some grocery shopping. What was your virtual conference about, if you don't mind me asking, Brooke? That sounds interesting. Our stairs aren't carpeted, but we have wood laminate. Since watching you, I don't always clean them with a hand broom, but use a washcloth. We all learn from one another. Yeah, absolutely. It's a good way of just getting the dust, particularly in the edge, the gap. I'm curious if you and your daughter will have time to declutter your clothing and her toys this summer to have a boot sale. Do you know, I wonder whether you're psychic. I was literally sorting out some of her hair bands and hair slides, and I said to my daughter, well, why don't we have a car boot sale? And she started getting excited, but then I thought, how are we going to get all the items in the little Fiat 500? And also, car boot sales here in England now are very different to what they used to be. We get a lot of people that come along, and honestly, they want to pay you 5 pence for things. So if I'm going to stand there for a whole morning, get up really early, have the hassle of getting everything there, all for selling things, people come up and want something that's worth, you know, a few pounds, they want to give me 5 pence, I'd sooner just give it all to charity. We also have quite limited time really to do it. If you think we're now in the middle of May, so the next, well, getting there, the next focus are the exams, and then my daughter's got an activity week, we should go on lots of different trips. I've got workshops to deliver, I'm doing extra hours. And then when it gets July, she breaks up from school and we'll be going to Italy on about the 14th, 15th of July. We're there for 3 weeks. We come back for a week and then I'm off for 2 weeks. So busy. So I felt like I wanted to do a proper sort out of this corner. There's so many things like in the corner, instruments, boxes, containers, the chair, and I thought, well, does the chair really need to be there? I was going to take the wire from underneath there, and then I thought, well, actually, no, that's how I can plug in. It's really, really dusty behind there, so I've really given this whole area a good sort out and a good clean. And I've been able to get rid of quite a few things. So it's only layer 1 for this cabinet. I think layer 2 would mean that there's a few other things that I could get rid of. There's also a few collectible items in here, which you probably saw me get out. I've got a lot of Sylvanian family sets. I realised that I've got 3 of the pandas, 2 of the koalas. One set, the elephants were bought as a present from my daughter to me. So I did put a couple back, but I thought they don't all need to go back in there, do they? I also did start thinking this feels like it's the cabinet of vases. I don't quite realise how many vases I've got, and there's only so many vases that anyone needs, isn't there? That's the thing. Yeah, going back to holiday in the summertime, I do think my daughter would absolutely love doing a car boot. That is a really good idea. She'd find that fun, although I'm sure she'd go round and start trying to buy more things. I'm reading there. When we went to Las Vegas, I did one of those fortune telling things, and it actually says on there a few things which are true, and one of which that says spend lots of time with somebody with red hair. He will bring you much happiness. And of course, my husband's got ginger hair, hasn't he? So I've kept that for all those years. Probably since I think we went to Las Vegas in 2010. So it's quite old. So on the left-hand side of my piano, I start putting the things that I decided that I'm going to get rid of. So there's a few vases. And in a minute, you'll watch me laugh and tell my daughter and my husband, because what I'm going to do is there's a few bits and pieces that I'm going to declutter by placing them in somebody else's house. So when I go to my mum's later, there's a little candle holder that will be decluttered by me giving it to her as a gift. So I've got to find somewhere that I'm going to put it. So there's a few vases that I've also got as wedding presents. There's one that I think that I'll probably be quite happy to get rid of. So not a wedding present one, but one of my Fran's vases. I think I'll be able to get rid of them. I don't want them. I don't feel that attached to that. But my other things, like my little giraffes and my butterflies and my dragonflies, I love. But there are probably 3 more vases in there that when I do layer 2, I'll probably be quite happy to get rid. So that's good. I decided to put everything on the table that I'm not going to put back in the cabinet. So in a minute I'll take things off the floor and put them on the table, take things off the piano and put them on the table. So I don't want them all spread about, and kind of like, yeah, you've got to do it as you mean to go on, haven't you? Rather than if I just sort of fill the cabinet full of all the toys again, that's a bit silly. So some of these things I've now put back. So I decided to put the Sylvanian families in the lower cabinet section for the time being. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to check to see what they're worth, and I'm going to see if I can sell some of them on eBay. So I shuffled round the furniture. I thought that chair that normally has all the musical instruments, I thought really you don't need a chair there. So I've pulled the chair out, and then I've moved another chair into the hallway. I've got boxes there for my Stife bears. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I've got a whole loft cupboard which is nearly full of bears. That was me then laughing about the little candle holder, what I'm going to do with it. And then these little vases, I thought, my daughter could fill one of those with flowers and give to my mum. So we were talking about that. And then when my husband came in, I told him, I've also got a vase. My mother-in-law likes going and buying things in Marks and Spencer's, so I thought I might place that in our house. And then there was another container from Hotel Chocolate, which is like what my husband gave me for Valentine's. And it's got words on it like love and like friendship and different things. And it's filled with sweets in different levels. And he said, what are you doing with that? And I said, I was going to get rid of it. And he pulls a sad face. So then I feel bad getting rid of it. I mean, literally, it's packaging for chocolate. So that'll end up going back onto the mantelpiece, which just seems like so silly. So there's probably about 10 things from the cabinet that I was going to get rid of. But probably a couple of them I'm going to end up putting back because I start feeling bad about getting rid of them, particularly when it's something like my husband's got me and then he pulls a sad face because I'm going to get rid of it. It's literally only packaging. But my husband took loads of dry washing up today. Super. And he took the tent and all the camping stuff and put that away in the cupboard, which is really good. I've been getting fed up that every time I open the cupboard door under the sink, the things fall out. So I'm gonna get rid of some more stuff. I think I need to do layer 2. And then all my washing that got wet in the rain is now dry, so I can get all that in. And I'm going to put a load more wet washing back on the line. And while my daughter is making a birthday card for my mum, and my husband's going backwards and forwards to the man cave to get some paint for her to use. So in a minute we're going to my mum's to have dinner and spend some time to celebrate her birthday. And then tomorrow my daughter's got practice for one of her songs. There's a song from Lord of the Rings, so she's in a concert. And then she's having little friends come around. So I hope you have a lovely weekend. What are you up to? I know some of you are going away. So one person's going away to Wales. So have a lovely holiday in Wales. She said it usually rains. And I think, well, whatever the weather is like in Wales, it's going to be lovely. I think it's due to be sunny on the forecast for the next few days. So I hope you all have a lovely weekend. Please let me know what you're up to and how you're getting on with your tidy up journey. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!